What happened to romance? What's going on? When did loving love start feeling embarrassing? When did being romantic become something people side-eye instead of celebrate? Because growing up, I loved love. I really did. I loved it in movies, the slow burns, the stolen glances, the dramatic confessions, the quiet moments where two people just understood each other and don't need to speak. And now we see it everywhere in media, constantly. I can literally scroll on TikTok for 5 minutes and be bombarded with couple videos, surprise flowers, soft launching my boyfriend, this message was sent to you, and edits, and just a bunch of bull while I'm over here thinking about, hey, why hasn't he texted me back? Effort shows intention, action shows priority, and consistency shows care. If someone wants to talk to you, they'll find a moment. If someone wants to see you, they'll make a plan. If someone wants to grow with you, they'll show up even when it's inconvenient. Nobody accidentally builds a connection. If I want success, I have to work for it. If I want stability, I have to create structure. If I want respect, I have to set boundaries and honor myself. And if I want love, I have to show up with effort, honesty, and intention. Another thing I think a lot of us are stuck in is, whether we admit it or not, is falling in love with potential instead of the reality. We romanticize who someone could be, how they might treat us one day, and how good it could feel if things just aligned. If they just healed, if they just matured, if the timing magically worked out. We build entire emotional futures in our heads based on fragments. A good conversation, a shared laugh, a moment of chemistry, that late night text, a compliment that stuck with you longer than it should have, and suddenly you're attached to a version of someone that doesn't actually exist yet. Can you tell I don't have a therapist? I don't even think love bombing even existed as a common term before social media dating culture really took off. Now everyone knows what it is and everyone's warned about it, yet so many people still experience it. Love bombing is essentially when someone comes on way too strong, way too fast, intense affection, big promises, emotional closeness before real trust is built. But what's interesting is that, why did this even become a thing? I think part of it comes from how fast everything moves on. We live in a culture of instant gratification and instant replies, instant access, and instant validation. People want emotional closeness immediately without putting in the slow work of actually getting to know someone. So instead of letting connection build naturally, they fast forward intimacy. Another part of it is validation. Likes, matches, views, attention. We're trained to chase the dopamine hits. Attention feels like a currency now. Being wanted feels like proof of worth. So some people unconsciously use love bombing as a way to secure attention, reassurance, and emotional control quickly. Another thing I've been thinking about a lot, and this might be a little controversial, is how a therapy language and healing culture kind of changed the way how people treat relationships. And before anyone fights me down below, I'm not saying healing is bad. I'm not saying boundaries are bad at all. I'm not saying self-care is bad either. Those things are 100% necessary. Somewhere along the way, a lot of emotional language that was meant to help us love better started being used to avoid accountability. Now things are framed as, I'm protecting my peace, I'm setting boundaries, I'm not emotionally available, I'm triggered, I'm prioritizing myself, I don't have capacity. And sometimes those things are real and sometimes they're healthy, but sometimes there's just nicer ways of saying, I don't want to show up, I don't want to communicate, I don't want to be uncomfortable, I don't want responsibility. And that's hard to sit with because it means romance didn't get complicated because people got broken. It got complicated because people stopped being brave. We learned how to protect ourselves better than we learned how to love each other. We learned how to exit quickly, how to intellectualize our feelings and avoid vulnerability. But love was never meant to be sterile or perfectly safe. Love requires risk, honesty when it's awkward, and staying when it would be easier to disappear. And I think that's why romance feels thinner now. Not because people don't want love, but because they're scared of what love demands. We want connection without exposure, intimacy without responsibility, and closeness without discomfort. That version of love doesn't exist. So when I ask what happened to romance, I don't think the answer is that love disappeared. I think we just learned how to avoid it really well. We learned how to scroll past it, how to analyze it, and how to consume it safely from a distance, but not always how to practice it bravely. And I'm not saying we should abandon boundaries or ignore our emotional health that matters deeply, but I do think we need to relearn how to be sincere again and care without irony. And if you're someone who still loves love, even when it feels totally hopeless, I see you and you're not naive. You're just brave as me. Thank you guys for listening to this video, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.